This is the story of a military officer who starts teaching at a school where all the students are extremely undisciplined. The story begins with Henry, a retired US military officer who now wants to live his life as a teacher. He goes to his old school, where the principal refuses him at first, saying he has no teaching experience. But Henry shows him an official letter signed by higher authorities, forcing the principal to hire him. He assigns Henry to the worst class in the school, where no teacher has ever managed to control the students because they're so unruly. The next day, Henry enters the chaotic classroom. The students completely ignore him. Some are sleeping, one is playing guitar, and a group is even cooking noodles in class. Henry sarcastically comments on their actions. This grabs their attention for a moment. When he writes his name and number on the board, the students mock his handwriting. One student calls him and threatens him to leave, but Henry just laughs it off. Frustrated, Henry suddenly hits the fire sprinkler, drenching everyone. Now that he has their full attention, he introduces himself properly and starts teaching. After class, Jack, the leader of the backbenchers, and his friends sneak into the sports room to smoke. Jack has a crush on a senior girl, which his friends tease him about. Meanwhile, the school's rich basketball team, who hate Jack's group, mock them for being poor and scoring low grades. To get back at them, Jack trips the basketball captain with a bottle during practice, making him fall. His friends laugh, but their English teacher catches them and punishes them. To escape, the boys play a prank, spilling water on her desk, and run away. Meanwhile, the principal is stressed because the school's reputation is bad, and the education board might close their school because their students were not getting admissions in high-ranked universities. Inspectors arrive to check if the school is being run properly. The next day, Henry returns to class, where the students try to prank him by balancing a water bucket on the door. But Henry notices and kicks it away before it falls. Impressed, the students quiet down. Henry then asks Jack for his cigarette pack, guessing he smokes. Jack hands it over. Henry takes out a cigarette and asks the student, "What are the 3 main ingredients in a cigarette?" One student answers correctly. Henry laughs and lets him skip class as a reward. The other students cheer, demanding the same treatment. Henry then teaches them about the dangers of smoking in a shocking way, explaining how it burns in your lungs and how much profit these cigarette companies make. For the first time, the class listens intently. After the bell, Henry collects all the cigarettes back, including Jack's. Later, in the cafeteria, the basketball captain bullies Jack. Jack's group gets furious, and a massive fight breaks out between the two groups where they start throwing chairs and tables at each other. As a result, Henry's 5 students get temporarily suspended because the school authorities blame them for starting the fight. When Henry comes out of the principal's office, he sees Jack still arguing with the basketball players. Henry quickly intervenes and tells Jack to calm down. Jack angrily says the school is biased because they never punish the rich kids. That evening after school, Henry reviews the files of these 5 suspended students to understand them better. First is Fayaz, a Pakistani immigrant's son who faces discrimination for being Muslim. His neighbors have even filed false theft cases against him. Despite this, Fayaz loves music and dreams of becoming a great musician. Second is Gladys, whose father never loved her because he wanted a son. When Gladys's brother was born, he treated him like a prince while ignoring Gladys completely. In desperation for her father's love, Gladys started acting like a boy, playing car games and even cutting her hair short, but nothing worked. Now she wants to become a Formula 1 racer. Next are brothers Bruce and Chris, whose mother ran away with someone else in their childhood, making their father an alcoholic. Bruce, trying to escape reality, got into video games while Chris worked at a grocery store to support them. When Henry checks Jack's file, he finds no information. We then see Jack working as a waiter in a hotel where MMA gambler and real estate developer Simon arrives with his business partners. Jack steals Simon's fancy lighter but gets caught. Though beaten up when they see his student ID, Simon surprisingly offers him money and a high-paying job. Meanwhile, Henry visits �奧𝗲𝗲's house only to find �奧𝗲𝗲 running after stealing a concert ticket from his father. Henry helps resolve the situation. Later, he takes �奧𝗲𝗲 to a bridge where a band is performing. To boost �奧𝗲𝗲's confidence, Henry joins the performance, inspiring �奧𝗲𝗲 to participate too. His first public performance, which makes him very happy. At Bruce and Chris's home, their drunk father demands alcohol at midnight. When refused, he kicks them out. Next day, Henry meets their father and convinces him to take responsibility by joining alcohol rehab. Gladys's father brings her makeup, insisting she should behave like a girl, which angers her. She smears the makeup on her brother's face, takes car keys, and drives away recklessly. Henry stops her, saying that driving without license is illegal. He arranges a go-kart race between Gladys and her father to mend their relationship. After Gladys wins the race, she takes the cart on the streets. Her cart gets hit by a truck, though she survives. Her father breaks down crying, revealing his hidden love for her. They finally start living like a father and a daughter should. The next day, Jack and Bruce interview a recovered alcoholic for a school project, shocked to discover it's their own father. He shares how his wife's abandonment led to his alcoholism, making him neglect his children. Though he doesn't reveal that they're his sons, he apologizes, making Bruce and Chris emotional. Meanwhile, Jack starts working with Simon, who asks him to drug an MMA fighter's drink for money. Jack hesitates, but Simon forces Jack to spike the MMA fighter's drink, having bet heavily on his loss. As Jack laces the beverage, he's caught red-handed. The thugs brutally beat him before locking him in a storage locker. Later, Henry arrives investigating Jack. When one goon tries sending him away, Jack's muffled cries reveal his location. What follows is an explosive showdown. Henry single-handedly dismantles the entire crew, even knocking out their prized fighter scheduled for an upcoming championship. After the fight, Henry gets patched up at the hospital, while Jack reports the incident to the police. News spreads like wildfire about the teacher who took on professional fighters to protect his student. Overnight, Henry becomes a school legend, commanding newfound respect from previously undisciplined and unruly students. A revealing flashback shows Henry wasn't always heroic. As a student, he'd ruined a school event by throwing water balloons at a young performer, then broke the boy's hand in the ensuing fight. This incident got Henry expelled from school, and he had to go to America. Present day shows Henry's transformed classroom. Students now hang on his every word, diligently preparing for college entrance exams, except for Bruce. The once bright student struggles with antidepressant drug addiction that began as escape from family trauma. Bruce's condition continues to deteriorate until he attempts suicide by jumping from his balcony, slipping into a coma. Media outrage ensues, with blame falling on Henry and the school. The education board revokes Henry's teaching license. As he prepares to leave, his students block his path, refusing to let their teacher go. Their English teacher gives a solution. She asks Henry's students to ace the upcoming exams to prove that Henry is a worthy teacher. On exam day, Simon takes a cruel turn. Simon wants to develop a housing society where the school building stands. He also wanted to take revenge on Henry for his childhood. He locks the students in a classroom. He desperately wanted the school to close, and Henry's teaching career to be ruined. Henry storms the school, fighting through Simon's men in an epic brawl to free the students. The final confrontation reveals Simon's true identity. The young piano performer whose life Henry ruined years ago was actually Simon. As they battle, Henry gains the upper hand, but chooses mercy over revenge. Henry then apologizes for his childhood cruelty. This act of grace breaks the cycle of violence. The students miraculously make their exams. Weeks later, their outstanding results restore the school's reputation and funding. In the emotional ending, Simon returns to piano. Bruce vows to retake exams after recovery, and Henry is reinstated as teacher. He welcomes a new batch of students with his signature sprinkler prank, proving that even rebels can become inspirational mentors. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you for watching.